Awesome. We're live now. Thank you, ladies, for being here this morning, taking time out of your busy schedules to learn. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background about me and who I am, my name is Kristi Kronzer. Just got married last year and still having a hard time with that, getting the last name correct. I have been a coach for 4.5 years. This will be my 4th year as an elite coach. I typically rank anywhere from number 12 in the company to number, I think right now, like 45 or something. And when I dove in as a coach, I actually didn't get started like a lot of people for the fitness. I had never used Beachbody programs. I started completely for the business. I was working in the financial industry. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. At the time, I was training for an Ironman triathlon, and I had gone through a major depression years prior, and fitness is kind of what got me out of that. It took years and years and years, and even when I started as a coach, I was still suffering with it a little bit, but fitness is kind of what kept me sane, so I really wanted to find an avenue so that I could help others with their fitness goals, but I also want to make it a career. So I'm probably one of the few that dove in like completely for the business. I had never tried Shakeology. I had done one P90X program workout and was sore for like a week afterwards, and so I never did it again. But I dove in and I got started with Shakeology because I was training a lot. Couldn't fit in another workout on top of my Ironman training because I was already working out like 20 hours a week. And I knew from day one that I didn't know how, but that I was going to leave my job. I had a goal of 2 years to leave my full-time job. It took me about a year, and my part-time income with Beachbody surpassed my full-time income in the financial industry. And at about a year and a half, I finally made the leap and left my job. It was really scary because leaving meant that I was losing 50% of my income. So I knew that I had to really dive in and have confidence that I could make up that income quickly with the opportunity. I have had just as many struggles as everybody else. I ranked to 5-star diamond, I think it was 2013. And I almost made the 6-week qualification, and on the very last day of qualifications, I dropped out of 5-star and down to 4-star, so I didn't rank up, and it actually took me a whole nother year to get there. That was probably like 2012, and then I ranked up in 2013 or something. I can't remember all the dates, but then I was stuck at 5-star for a long, long time, and just trying to figure out how can I help my team grow, like how am I teaching and sharing what I'm doing so that they can be successful? And it took me a long time to figure out my systems and what work for me. So my hope is that you take any trainings from the Shine group, any trainings from my YouTube channel, trainings from other coaches, and learn how those things work for you. Start creating systems. One of the things that has really helped me is every month I do a team like Coach Basics Emerald kind of push group, and then I do the Shine group once a month. We have a team coach sneak peek once a month, and I don't run all of these things. You guys will see that in the Shine group, I'm not posting. I don't post the daily things, so delegate. That was a huge thing. Bringing my team, even if they're a brand new coach, if you're running an Emerald Push group, or you're running a Coach Sneak Peek group, or a challenge group, ask your coaches to help you lead it and delegate the work so that you guys are all doing it together as a team. They'll feel like they're more a part of something, and it'll make your life a lot easier. I always felt like I had to do everything, and that was a huge struggle and something that held me back for years. And it probably wasn't until this year that I finally started just asking for help and having my leaders lead things and share the responsibility of leading different groups, so that we really were creating freedom, time freedom for all of us, instead of just one of us or each individually doing the same groups on our own. So those are just some things that have really held me back in the business. You can always watch my YouTube videos. I will tell you all of my struggles. I am 10-star qualifying, 4-star diamond in my second business center, 1-star in my third business center with 2 diamonds. I currently have 16 diamond coaches, but I've had another 20 diamonds that are no longer diamond anymore, just to give you guys an idea. So I fail a lot. My success is not just streamlined. It always looks cool when you hear it out loud, but I always want to say those things to you guys, because if you're failing, you're doing it right. Just focus on your goal, what you want to achieve in your business, and keep going until you get there. My first year as a coach, my goal was 15-star diamond. I was really naive, obviously. I was like, I'm going to get to 15-star in 1 year. That looks so easy. And then it took me 9 months to get to 1 star. So I was like, okay, maybe it's not quite that easy. But now going on, it'll be 5 years next April, and I'm going to be 15-star by that 5th year mark, just 4 years behind. But that's okay. If you have that goal, focus on it no matter how long it takes you to get there. I do want to tell you a story. I have a coach on my team. She is two-star qualifying, almost 3-star qualifying, and she'll be able to open up that second business center, which will make her 4-star qualifying, because she'll be able to build that to diamond. But it took her 11 months to get to diamond. Her first 6 months in the business, she had 3 coaches on her team, and one of those was her husband. So 11 months in, and she got to diamond. And it took her 11 months, I think, to really build confidence. She didn't have a ton of success in her first 6 months, but she never gave up. She kept pushing just the same. And now she's been a coach for 1.5 years, and she's 2-star, almost 3-star qualifying. She'll probably go 3-star qualifying this month. And so she went from 11 months to get to diamond, and in 7 months, she has actually 4 or almost 5 diamonds on her team. And so it really, everybody's journey is different. All of a sudden something can click for you. And I kind of feel like that was me. I was struggling along, like I was succeeding, that my income was growing, but I was really stuck at, how do I help other people? How do I teach them what I'm doing? I wasn't a very good teacher. I wasn't attracting the right people, and I can't even pinpoint what it was that I've done differently. I think maybe the biggest thing is I've been more vulnerable and more open about my journey, and my journey as a coach with my team. I'm not this leader that doesn't go through any struggles, so I share all those struggles with them, and then I share the solution and how I'm going to get out of it, and that really transformed my business for me. So this year, like I said, keep pushing, 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 and all of a sudden something will click for you, just like it did for my coach, Jessica. For me, I don't know, a lot of things clicked this year, I guess, and I have 12 new personally sponsored diamond coaches this year. 10 of them are still at diamond. 2 of them have fallen out of diamond, and that's huge, because last year, I had 2 coaches that ranked to diamond, and one was my 3rd business center, and one was one of my coaches. So I barely made elite. I had all the points. Like, I had over 400 points, but I only had 2 diamonds, and that's what's required, is 2 rank advanced coaches that ranked to diamond that year, and one of them was me. I felt like a total failure. Here I am with 400 elite points, and I could only help 1 person get to diamond all year. I helped 2, but only 1 stuck. But I don't let those things deter me. I don't get wrapped up in them and think, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. I don't know what to do. Like, I just keep going and keep looking for solutions. And that has been kind of my motto feeling forward from day one, and just being focused on that goal and not letting all the failures get to you, which I know is easier said than done, but personal development definitely helps with that. So now I just want to open it up to any questions that you guys have about Shine, about your journey as a coach, anything that you're struggling with, and we can talk about that. And then I have a few things that I'll go over afterwards.
For me, I guess the biggest struggle I'm having right now is getting my coaches engaged. So a lot of them are discount coaches. I'm really new in the business. I just started in June, but so they really want the discount. Or I do have a couple who are like, okay, the discount's great, but I also want to help people. And then it's like they're deer in headlights, and I will try to engage them, and they don't even answer me. It's like, I don't know if they're scared or what. But I have my own Facebook group where they're all in there, and I'll post, training documents, and I'll try to engage them, and it's like crickets, and I'm not really sure what next steps to take. I reach out to them personally, and I don't know if they're just scared or what.
Okay, awesome. I wish there were a couple other leaders, because everybody's going to handle this differently, and I don't want to step on any other leaders' toes that are in the group. So I will tell you my personal kind of beliefs and I guess policies in a sense. I don't pull coaches along. So first I'm going to give you a statistic because I'm really big on numbers. 1 in 8 coaches are going to build. 1 in 8, and that's a pretty low number. Even the coaches that get started and say they're in it for the business, 1 in 8. And so for me, like when I got to Diamond, I actually had 12 active coaches to get my 2 emeralds. And I was like, I just have to keep sponsoring to find these people that like want to work the business. I don't know if that's right or that's wrong. Maybe some coaches would be against that, but that's kind of how I approach the business. And I don't pull people along. So when a coach gets started, I send them a getting started email, and it has training that's my training on YouTube, links that they need to review. So some things that they need to know are Success Starters, what that means, how to get their free ticket to Summit, Success Club, and the benefits of Success Club. What does that mean? What does Success Club 5 get them? What does Success Club 10 get them? How do they get there? The other thing that my new coaches need to know is our team training, where to find it in our team page. I set up an event every week in our Facebook page. So it's an event that invites them to the training every single week. So I show them how to find that event so that they never miss our team training call, and how to find the National Wake Up Call. The other thing that I share, sorry, I'm going off the top of my head, Success Starters, Success Club Summit, inviting scripts. So if in the Coach Online office, we have the 5-step invite process. So that's something that I share with them right away. I also have my own inviting scripts. So I share with them my inviting scripts, and they say, I want you to create your own. You can use this word for word, but if there's something that doesn't sound like you, use something different. And you're going to have to try a few things. So those are the things that I go through on a coach getting started call with them, and then their why and their goals. But they have to get through my training before they schedule a phone call with me. So it's give and take. I'm not going to pour a bunch of my time and effort into them until they show me that they're serious and they're ready to make this a business, and they're going to put some, I guess I always say skin in the game. They're going to put some effort into it. I used to get on as a newer coach, I used to get on the phone with every single one of my coaches as soon as they signed up and do a getting started call with them and find out their why and their story, and I would spend an hour on the phone with them for them never to go through training, schedule another call the following week with me and sit on the phone with me for an hour, again, just asking me a bunch of questions, but never investing time to go through any training, and never progressing in their business. So like I said, some people might not agree with this, but for me, I make them show me. They have to complete the training and then schedule the getting started call. And then I'll go through more information with them, go through their goals. I really use the business activity tracker. So I send them, and again, some coaches don't use it. Some prefer to create their own. I like using the business activity tracker because it's easily duplicatable. I can tell you guys can tell your teams, you guys can actually use it. And all of those things together really do work. So I go through the business activity tracker on our getting started call. That was the last thing I was missing. And I tell them what each of those little things mean. I also have a video on it, but it seems to like just go over their head. So I make sure that they understand why it's so important, why all of those things work together, and I have them complete that and send it to me every Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon. So, and I tell them, you don't have to send this to me. I'm not going to come after you. I'm not your boss. I'm not your teacher. This isn't elementary school. But if you send it to me, I'm going to give you feedback. If you send it to me, I can see how you're doing. If you don't send it to me, I'm not going to come after you. It's your business. It's what you want to get out of it. With the business activity tracker, the thing that I love about that is you can see what a person's closing rate is. I hate that term because people always say, how do you close people? I'm like, I don't. I just ask. I just ask, hey, did you want to get started? When did you want to get started? So that's, I guess, how I close. But I can see on a coach's tracker, you know, I have some coaches who can invite 2 to 5 a day, honestly, and get Success Club 20 plus. And they rock. They're really good because that's not me. I get Success Club 20 plus, but I have to invite over 100 people a week. And I know that. That's just, it's the way I do my business. It's the way I approach it. I'd rather plant 100 seeds and find those few people that say yes right now and plant seeds for those other people to come back to me later to follow my story. So I tell my coaches that because I don't want them to get frustrated when they're inviting a lot and they're hearing no's. And the business activity tracker is going to help me see, are they actually doing all those behaviors or are they missing something? A lot of coaches will fill out the top part, the vital behaviors, except for the inviting part. And then there's zeros all the way across. And you're like, oh, no. I'm glad that you were doing all the rest of it. That's amazing. Great job. Do you think we can push to invite 2 to 5 people a day this week? You know, and I'll continue to push that comfort zone. When I started using the business activity tracker, actually, my business became a lot easier, and I had a lot more coaches building because they felt like they knew what to do. I think a lot of times they don't respond to us because they're not ready, they're scared, they're fearful, whatever it may be. And they still won't respond to you. This isn't like a perfect fix. But I also set that up right away when they sign up. Like, this is your business, and I want to help you succeed with whatever your goals are. If you want to earn $100 a month, great, let's do that. If you want to earn $500 a month, we can make that happen. You have to be willing to do the work. I can give you the tools, and I can help support you and fill in the blanks when the tools don't make complete sense. But if you're not taking action on those, you're not going to see results. Just like if you don't take action on your fitness, you're not going to see results. Can't work out for one day for 8 hours and expect to lose all the weight. You can't dive into the business and do 8 hours of personal development and inviting and expect to see results. It just doesn't work that way. So I'm pretty honest about that. That changed my business. I think a lot of times we want to coddle and pull along because we really do want success for them, but they have to want it for themselves. So take that time where they're not responding to you or not showing up. I continue to invite them passively through the event invites in the team page. So in Facebook groups, you can create an event in the Facebook group, so you can invite everyone in the group, which I love because I can invite my team to our team training calls or to our coach sneak peek. But those that don't show up, and I have some that haven't shown up for years, they will come back around, not all of them, but some of them will come back around after seeing you building, and all the success and momentum that's being created. Or you might create a video that they watch. Start creating videos. That's huge. Because I have a coach on my team. She started in 2012. She was almost to diamond, and she disappeared. And like I said, I don't pull people along. So I continue. I'm in the trenches. I'm recruiting. I'm inviting. I'm finding new challengers. I'm finding new coaches. Like, I don't have time to pull those people because I'm doing the vital behaviors myself. But I do have time to help those that want to build this business and share with them what I'm doing so that they can learn how to do those things effectively and make it work for them. So I had no idea, but those 2 years she was watching my YouTube videos. And there was a lot going on in her life, a lot of fear, things holding her back. And she finally messaged me at the beginning of this year, like March, April of this year, and wanted to dive back in and asked, you know, would you have me back? She was already a coach, but would you help me? I know you've helped me before. Would you help me again? She's now a diamond coach on the team, and pushing for Star Diamond. She watched me for 2 years. She watched my YouTube videos for 2 years. And before she even contacted me, she went back through and watched every single one of my YouTube videos to get up to date with all of the new trainings that I had in the past couple years. So I knew that she had shown me that I could devote time to her. Sorry, I get way off track. Does that kind of help, though?
It does, and I think that I just need to work on, right now. I think because of the shine, I'm so focused on hitting diamond that, like you said, I'm trying to pull along these coaches who are resisting. So instead, I just need to keep building my team and finding the people who want to do the same.
Yeah, and do you have your spouse or significant other signed up?
I'm actually the spouse on the account.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I originally signed up with my husband because I just wanted the discount, and he's a veteran. So I was like, yay, free account. So he's actually going to hit diamond before I do. So I do have that on there, and that one is the spouse account is now going emerald. So I'm still working on my other people, but I don't right now have any team builders, so it's going to be me giving them coaches. But I really need to find people who want to find their own coaches and build their own business.
Right. Yeah. So what I did, and again, you can talk with your upline coach because maybe they have a different strategy or system, and I don't want to step on toes. But and my husband, well, he was boyfriend at the time, and obviously your spouse you can't, but so I kind of controlled my mom's, and his business. They weren't my first emeralds, actually. I just kept sponsoring because I was like, if I can find 12, 13, 14 coaches, I don't even care. I'm just trying to find those 2 that really want this and want to run with me. And everybody else, I'll help them. The discount coaches, I'll help them as challengers because at some point they will come around. They will maybe see the opportunity or want more or something you can offer your discount coaches is refer 3, get yours free. Or you could say refer 4 if they want to cover the business service fee as well. But I have a training on my YouTube channel that's called Refer 3, Get Yours Free. And you can definitely watch that and then create your own YouTube video or on that topic and share it with your discount coaches. Say, I'm not sure if you're interested, but did you know that you can get your Shakeology for free? I know you're just going to discount right now, but you can get it, for free, so it might save you some money. Some will be like, yeah, no, thanks. But you might have that one that's like, yes, that would be awesome. I'm going through this right now, or they might open up to you. So that might be something to try. Any other questions?
I do. My biggest problem is inviting, which I think is everyone's, well, maybe not everyone's, but a lot of people's problem, because you swim around your warm market and everything's great, people are hopping on, and then it dries up. And I know it's a personal development thing, but I'm very apprehensive to approach people maybe that I don't know. So how do you find that you find your challengers and your cold market via sponsored posts, or how do you go about doing it?
Great question. So there's a lot of things here that I'm going to cover, inviting and how to build your network. It's probably the 2 things that hold people back the most and also the scariest, but once you get a system down for it, it's, in my opinion, it's also the easiest once you get it down, but the hardest to push through in the beginning. So everybody is different. You just said that you were okay approaching your warm market, but not sure how to approach cold market. I'm the total opposite. I approached cold market, no problem. I'm like, I don't know you, so I don't care what you think. And then had a really hard time, with approaching my warm market. So a little bit different. But so growing your network, first and foremost, that's where you want to focus if you're going to be inviting cold market, right? So I do that many different ways. I'm going to tell you a few of my key ways that I do it, that I do every month. One is I do a free group. I do what's called a free flat belly challenge. I use videos from our videos, essentially. It's Tony Horton, Autumn. If you go to their YouTube channels, they have videos on them, workout videos. So I use those videos because if I'm going to do a free group, I want to be introducing our programs into the free group, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to be giving them some other like, oh, here, you can do workouts at home. I'll just tell you exactly what to do because then they have those workouts forever. And so I want to introduce our programs. So that's number one in my free group. The other thing that I do in my free group is I offer the sampler packs for Shakeology. So I say, hey, I'm going to be giving you guys all a 7-day meal plan. I use the T25. 5-day, what is it called? The 5-day. I typed it all out years ago, so I have no idea what it's called. But T25 has a meal plan that's like a 5-day jump start kind of thing. So I typed that up. Mm-hmm. And so I say, hey, I'm going to give you guys, would you guys be interested in me adding a meal plan to the group? Oh, yeah. And in the post, I also say, would you guys want Shakeology? Who uses it? Who doesn't know what it is? And I pretty much keep posting that. So not that exact thing, but the next day I'll post, I'm so excited for all those of you that got your Shakeology sampler packs. If you guys want one, make sure to get to me because I'm going to be posting the meal plan. It will be included in the meal plan, but you don't have to have it. It's not required, so don't think that it is. Then I'll get a few more messages of people interested. Then I post it again, like, I'm so excited, you guys. We're closing up. I'm not going to be able to give the meal plan until next week because I want to make sure everybody gets their Shakeology in the mail first. If you're just joining the group and you don't know what I'm talking about and you're interested in Shakeology, send me a message and I can give you some more information. So my group is all about, it's not just a free group. I don't just give things away for free. There's a point. I have the attention of all of these people that I don't know who they are, and I'm going to introduce Shakeology and the programs to them. Okay, so how do I do that? How do I find people for this free group? I do a Facebook ad. You don't have to. I'm going to give you both ways because I just started doing Facebook ads this year at the beginning of like January, and it was just because I have such a large team now, my time is better spent devoted to them. Before that, you guys, I did everything free. I didn't pay for ads. I built my business completely free. It does take a little bit more work because you have to go out and find those people. So with the Facebook ad, I post a free flat belly ad. Your picture is really important. I post a picture of my abs. Some of my coaches are like, Kristi, it doesn't work the same for me, but it really is all about that picture. I tell my team, if you want to steal my ab photo, you totally can and use it. But I work hard for those abs, so I'm going to use it. And so I post that photo with like, hey, I'm doing this free flat belly group. And somebody just told me recently that Facebook wasn't allowing them to do this, but it did me last week, so I don't know. I have a Google Doc. So if you guys use Google Drive, you can obviously see I use Google Hangouts. I'm a huge Google fan. I use Google Calendar. But the Google Drive, you can go in and you can create forms in Google Drive. Go to Google Drive and you can do like documents, all sorts of things, whatever. You can create a form. And so I type out a list of questions, their name, their email, what are their fitness goals, whatever you want to know. Have they ever used Shakeology? Have they ever considered turning their fitness into a business? This group is free. I want information that allows me to build a relationship with them and see what their interests are. So think of questions that would be important to you, that you would want to know about them to help you build that relationship. So I post that with the Google Doc, and it says in my ad that they need to complete the Google Doc, and when they do, the link to join the group will pop up and they can add themselves to the group. So nobody can get in the group unless they fill out that form. At the bottom of your Google form, there is a little box that just says like you've completed the whatever. You can edit that, so you edit it and put in the group link so that they can click on that. So that's what I do. I boost that. The first time that I did that, I boost, and there's Facebook ads and boost. That's a whole nother training. I have a training on my YouTube channel on that. They always say Facebook ads work better than boosting the posts. Boosts work better for me, so I am not one to train on that because what works for me is totally what they tell you not to do. So I boosted that for $35 the first time, and I had 100 people put their email addresses and opt in. So that was 100 people that I was able to build relationships with. They all added themselves to the group. I didn't have to add them. I didn't have to, like, I set up the group and set up the ad. They fill out the form and they add themselves to the group. And then I would go through as they were requesting to join, and I would friend request them on my personal page as well. So friend request them and add them to the group, friend request. That was 100 new people that I know needed help with something, because why else would they be joining this free group? In that first group, I had really incredible success, which is why I continue to do it. I had 8 people order sampler packs of the 100. I had 3 people order 21-day fix. I had another 3 or 4 people order challenge packs, and 1 person become a coach. I work this group. I have their full attention. I post stories. You know how, like, when you have incredible stories from your challengers or your team or whatever, and all of a sudden you're just super inspired that day and you want to post it all to your Facebook page, but you're like, well, I really can't because that would be spamming and nobody would want to read with them anymore. I do that. I totally spam these groups. I'm like, I have a banner at the top, and day 1 is Motivational Monday. What do you think I post? I post a success story about 21-day fix. And I make that story relatable. I tell every struggle and success that that person had in that picture. Day 2 is like Tasty Tuesday, share a recipe. I share a Shakeology recipe, my favorite Shakeology recipe. I'm trying to think what Wednesday is. I think Wednesday is like a post-workout selfie. So I do a post-workout selfie and talk about 21-day fix or my fixed meal plan or Body Beast. I'm really big into Body Beast. So I'll talk about that. Thursday's Thankful Thursday. They're supposed to post 10 things about what they're thankful about and have gratitude, attitude of gratitude. What do I talk about in those 10 thankful things? I talk about my team and how amazing it is. I talk about how it's awesome to work from home, how I get to have my, Stella, come here. I get to have my puppy beside me as I work all day long. I talk about the transformations, and I'm so thankful that I helped my mom get her health back on track and help her lose weight and feel confident again and run her first 5K. And just, so I take all of the stories I can and post in that 10 Thankful Thursdays. So I use that free group to really build relationships. And it's so simple because I set it all up on Hootsuite. So that's one of my biggest ways to build my network with a Facebook ad. And it hasn't cost me a lot, and I have a pretty big return. So the second group I did, I wanted 200 people. So I boosted the ad and spent $70, and I got 200 emails. So now my email list, they filled it out. I didn't have to fill out the form. I have 300 people. Just with 2 ads, 2 ads and 2 free groups. My coaches do this. They do different, like I have a 30-day group. You can cut it down to 21. You can do 14. You can do 10. It's whatever works for you. I usually do it a little bit longer because of the Shakeology, and I want them to order, and I post a meal plan and things like that. So that's one of my biggest ways. Now, if you want to do this and do it for free, you can totally do it for free. You can post to your Facebook page. You can post to your Instagram about your flat belly group. You will still get people that will want to join that way. You can set up an event on your Facebook page and invite your friends and family. Do free gifts. A sample of Shakeology for every 10 people that they add to the event, or 10 people that join the group. However you want to do it. I have one coach, if they refer 5 people to join the free group, she sends that person a thing of Shakeology. You can put whatever number you want. I usually go bigger because whatever expectations you set, that's what they shoot for. And a lot of times I think coaches always aim low because they think if they aim lower that people will hit it. But if you have higher expectations, people will rise to those expectations. That's probably the biggest thing. Another big failure of mine is I always set expectations low because I thought, well, I don't want to push them too hard. But by doing that, I was playing small. And in turn, I was teaching my team to play small. So the event's a great way, and ask for referrals. Message your friends and family. Say, hey, could you guys invite 100 people to this group? For doing so, I'll send you something. Or the person who invites the most will get a free coconut oil. You guys, I have a coach that did that. Like, the person who invited the most would get a free coconut oil. People were sitting at work in the free Facebook group, adding people all day long instead of doing their job for a coconut oil that they could go buy for $6 or $7. And so get creative with those types of things. The other thing you can do is join interest groups. That's a really big way that I teach about building your network. The thing with interest groups is you really need to get into your specific niche and think outside the box. And I'll explain what I mean and give you an example. I have a new coach. She signed up like 70 days ago. She's Diamond. And she took the interest group and went to she's growing quickly because she understands her target market and her niche. It took me forever. I still struggle. I'm like, I don't know what mine is. So it's okay if you're like, I'm just fumbling through it and I have no idea. But think of things that make you you, and I'll explain so that you have an idea. I am an Ironman athlete who was injured, and I then started bodybuilding to strengthen my body, strengthen my back, rehab, and in turn I was feeling kind of lost because I didn't have that competitiveness of being an athlete. So I started competing in competitions, bikini competitions. And when I look for target market, like Instagram, perfect example, hashtags, I go very specific. I just did a competition in the Tahoe show. I live in Tahoe. So I go to hashtags, hashtag Tahoe show, and I build relationships with those people. I'm going to meet them in person, and no other coach is going to be at that competition. No other coach is going to be using that hashtag because it doesn't relate to them at all. And so that was perfect for me. So back to my coach. So we talked about Facebook groups. She is a horseback rider. I used to ride horses as well. And the reason we connected, actually, she was a referral, a friend of a friend, and she had joined, I think, one of my free groups. And so I added her as a friend. She never did anything in the free group. And then she watched my story on Facebook for 2 years. And I was like, hey, I want to do a competition and I want to become a coach. So she is a horseback rider and she's from Santa Cruz. So she doesn't live in Santa Cruz, but she's from there. And she went to a Facebook group that was Horseback Riders of Santa Cruz. Other coaches are not going to be in that target market. None of us could go to that Horseback Riders of Santa Cruz and connect with those people because we don't have similar interests. So here's what I taught her to do. When you go into interest groups, schedule out times, a few times a week, whatever that is for you, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever works for you. Put it in your calendar, on your to-do list, on those specific days. Don't forget to do it. Go in, comment, like people's posts, but comment. Comments are always going to get more traction. As soon as I comment on someone's post, I send them a friend request. Because they'll always accept me. I have never had one not accept me because I commented. That is how quick you can build a relationship, because anybody can like. Everybody goes through and likes posts. But if you comment, that makes that person feel good. So when you send that friend request, they're going to accept. And then you can send them a message. Hey, I see that you're a horseback rider. Are you still riding? Like how long have you been riding? It's so cool to connect with people who have similar interests. Super easy. Super, super easy. So that's a great way to build your network. You can create another thing one of my coaches does is she creates a free health and fitness group that's just a motivational support group, and she posts in it once a week. But she's on Instagram and she'll post about her her free group or whatever, and get people to join that. Back to the interest groups. So after a while, after you've been in there and you've commented on a lot of people's stuff and posted a couple times yourself, sometimes you can post things. Some moderators or admins will delete it, but who cares? Post it. Let them delete it. So one of my coaches, she is, we went to high school together, and she is a rancher. She lives in Montana, and she grew up on a cattle ranch. And so she joined a Facebook group, Women's Ranchers. And every day, or not every day, a couple days a week, she'd go in and build relationships like we talked about. And she posted about her free fitness group one day. Said, hey, I know we're all like ranching and we're busy, but I really need to focus on my health, so I'm creating this free group. Would anybody want to join? Crickets. She posted again, crickets. And again, crickets. She posted a fourth time. She had 150 people join her free fitness group on the fourth post in her women's ranching group. Those 150 people, she built relationships in that free group, and she earned Success Club 10 from people in that group for 6 months. So there's so many different ways to get creative with building your network. It's thinking a little bit outside the box and not doing what other coaches are doing. If you join a group and there are 10 coaches in that group, get out of it. It's a waste of your time. Yeah. There is no reason to be in that group. Think of things that are specific to you. So back to like Instagram. Instagram's a great way. It's a little bit more on the time-consuming side. But you have hashtags, and you can search those hashtags and go through and comment. Comments really build relationships, and follow people. Build relationships with those people. You don't want to use this, like, even for me, bikini competitions. When I started, yeah, sure, I could do that, but now every Beachbody coach, I feel like, is doing that. So it doesn't work for me anymore. I have to be more specific. I have to be more targeted. So things that I'll do, like I said, I moved to Tahoe. I live in Tahoe. I love coffee. I love Tahoe House coffee. I hashtag Tahoe House because people vacation here, and everybody that vacations here goes to Tahoe House. And so not only am I getting people locally, but I'm also finding people who vacation here that I can connect with on something that are similar interests. I do hashtags of certain things in my area that no other coach would know. There aren't coaches that live here. So things like certain restaurants, certain beaches, Keep Tahoe Blue. Other people are going to know Keep Tahoe Blue, but they're probably not going to use that hashtag. And build relationships. I have a boxer puppy. So that's the thing, boxers of Instagram, boxer Facebook groups. A lot of my coaches, hint, hint, have boxers. And we connect on that. Obviously if you're mom's groups, but again, if you join a group and there are 100 other coaches in there, 10 other coaches in there, it's not beneficial. Create your own group. If there's something that that is specific to you, maybe I had a coach, her child has Asperger's. So that is something that she can connect with other moms that's very, very specific. So lots of ideas there. With Instagram, once you've built that relationship, and it doesn't take months to build a relationship, I always tell my coaches, it can be so quick. You can make someone feel connected to you and important very quickly with your comments and your support of them. Then you can send them a direct message. Create an inviting script that works for you, and it's simple. Simple is great. So something as simple as, hey, I noticed that a lot of people who have boxers, side note, are also into fitness. So I'll find accounts that are fitness accounts, but nobody would find this person except that I found them because they have a boxer. And I'll say, oh my gosh, your boxer's so cute. Comment on their boxer photos, comment on their fitness photos, and I'll say, hey, I don't know if you've ever considered, and if not, no big deal. You can say no, won't hurt my feelings. But have you ever considered becoming a coach? Because you are exactly the type of person that I look for on my team. Super simple, direct message, send them a photo. If they say no, no big deal. If they say yes, awesome. What's your email? And I can send you some more information. We can see if it's a good fit. Really, really easy. Keep your inviting scripts simple. People get overwhelmed if you give them too much information, and that's why questions are better. Because if you can ask them questions, you don't need to give them all the information that doesn't pertain to them. People will become overwhelmed and they'll shut down because it's not important to them. So you have to find what you connect with them on. And you can find that these days really easily by reading through a person's social media account, because they will tell you. They will tell you what they struggle with on a daily basis. They will tell you that they hate Mondays. They will tell you if they hate their job. They'll tell you if they're not feeling great about themselves. They'll tell you things. So those are some of my tips for building your network and inviting. Janelle Summers really changed my business. She did a call a few years back, and I don't even know what national wake-up call it was, and there were 2 things that she uses. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? Have you ever considered joining one of my fitness groups? Those are super simple ways to invite. And me, I always have a fear, like you were saying, like a fear of not actually knowing this person. My fear was family. So with my fear, I just always said, if you want to say no, tell me. Not going to hurt my feelings. I led with my fear because that was my biggest fear. I would rather them respond and tell me no than not respond. So I just tell them that. So tell them, you can tell them your fear. You can lead with your fear and then just say, have you ever considered?
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does. Thank you.
Sorry, guys. I told you I'm really wordy. You guys taking notes, though?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Other questions?
I do. Can you hear me? I don't know if I'm on mute. Okay. I run free challenge groups, but then I have trouble transferring them over from free to buying.
What are your free groups? Do you have?
Sorry. I've been doing a 5-day free clean eating challenge for the last 4 months. I got 1 coach out of it, but everything else, I haven't really turned it over.
Okay, so how many people are in your free groups each month?
In the beginning, when I was doing them, it was like 20 to 30. Now it's like 5 to 10.
20 to 30 or 5 to 10. Okay, so on average, you would say you've probably had a total of 50 people in 4 months?
Mm-hmm.
And you had 1 person sign as a coach?
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but nobody else is doing anything.
No, that's pretty good. So what I would say that you need is you need to connect with more people and get more people in your groups. So have a higher number. And this is just me. Like I said, some people might say, oh, 50, you should have 10 or whatever. Like I am all about finding those people that want this, so I'm not pulling people along. So I personally would just shoot for a higher number in your free groups. I mean, it's free. People love free. So I set a goal. Like when I start my free group, what is my goal for this free group? My number 1 goal is I want to build my network. So I want to build my network big. So my goal is going to be to have 100 or 200 people in the group. So that I have 100 or 200 new contacts. I would say, shoot for, since you're at 20 to 30 in one group, shoot for 50 to 75. So spend more time in other free groups or other avenues on social media finding people to join this free group so that you have more people in there.
Okay.
I'd put a few coaches in the free group so that when you're posting about your story, post about your journey, post your before and afters, post your coaches before and afters, post your teams before and afters, post any challengers before and afters, and tell stories. Don't just post the before and afters. You want to tell stories that get to the emotion and pull at their heartstrings. Things that are like, when you write it, you get passionate about it. When you write it, it gives you chills, because if it's giving you chills when you're writing it, it's really going to connect with them, someone in that group. And you'll have more turnover, more people saying yes and ready to dive in. So okay. I would say, yeah, definitely hire groups. I think with the people that don't, turn into a coach or a customer, continue to invite them. Don't take them off your list. Add them to your list. And this is another big mistake. I'll just keep throwing out all the big mistakes that I made. I didn't have a list. You guys do not learn from me at all. I would invite new people every month on social media, and I never put them on a list. If they said they were interested and then never followed through, I didn't even add them to a list. That was a huge failure. I had no idea. Like, I just was like, oh, I'll just find new people every month. There's lots of people out there. I've changed that, obviously. Now I have a list. But create a system where you can follow up. Like, all of those free people from 2 months ago, I can now, send a follow-up of some sort. How are your fitness goals going? How is everything, that you learned in the group? Have you been implementing it? How is your nutrition? Just send a bulk email to all of them asking about them and open up that conversation. If you ask how people are feeling, how their nutrition is, a lot of people are going to come back to you and be like, my nutrition sucks. I've gone off the deep end. Summer was bad to me. There were a lot of weddings and barbecues, and I just couldn't control myself. And awesome. Have you ever considered joining one of my groups? One of my, with a fitness program and a nutrition program and incredible results. I have one coming up. It's 21 days. Have you ever considered? And I'll send a before and after photo even when I message them back. Like, this is one of my challengers. Like, she's doing so incredible. I'd love to be able to help you with your goals. Speak from the heart. My scripts are my words, like, exactly. I speak from the heart. I keep it simple. But then it is me saying those words and speaking. So I just can copy and paste from one person to the next. So those are a couple things I would do to help your groups. I like having a few coaches, not too many, but a few coaches in the group so that we can each discuss stories and Shakeology and things like that in the group.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Awesome. Oh, yeah? Yeah.
I was going to say the coaching thing, right now I'm like really close to Ruby, and it's
Awesome.
driving me crazy. My coach needs one more coach, and then I need another coach, and I can rank advance. But like I said, I'm having trouble kind of turning people over from my free groups and my challenge groups into coaches. I was wondering if you had any advice about that.
Do you post about the coach opportunity, like that you're looking for new coaches, or do you invite to the coach opportunity, like regularly?
I have been doing it more regularly since I've been in the Shine group. This is my second time around, so now I try to make sure I post it at least once a week about coaching. But I'm still not getting like enough traction, I think, for people to say that they want more information about coaching.
Do you share your coach story, like why coach, like read through like different coaches' pages and you'll see, like even I posted this morning, and I share my story a lot. I'm almost like, oh my gosh, people are probably tired of hearing it. But sharing like what coaching means to you. So anytime you're posting something, well, not anytime, but often, a few times a week, are you not just inviting to the coach opportunity, but actually sharing? Have you ever read Jab, Jab, Right Hook?
Yes.
And do you implement that type of strategy on your Facebook for the coach opportunity specifically?
Yeah, I have been a lot more, and it's just that I'm not doing it. I should do it more than once a week. Maybe I should do it more, like 2 times a week or something. Because I didn't want to overwhelm them with coaching. So I try to do like fitness and coaching and other stuff. I don't want to just...
Yeah, people follow you for you. So you want to find a way to put the coaching in your story. So it never says like, hey, I'm talking about coaching here. But if you read through my page, you'll know that I'm a coach. And you'll be like, a lot of people are like, wait, what is it that she does? She gets to stay home, she helps people, and she coaches people, and she earns income? Like, what is this? So it intrigues them, so they want to know more. But you have to make it your story, and your story that would relate with other people, like relate with what is missing in their life. Like, I know when I became a coach, with my job, I was feeling stuck. And kind of like, is this really all there is to life? And I would ask people, and they're like, yeah, that's it. You're going to go to work. You're going to work 8 to 5, and you're going to pretty much wait for the weekends. I'm like, life is too short to wait every week for the weekends. Like, what about the 5 days during the week? I don't want to be miserable those 5 days. And so I share that. I share, like, that was my story as a brand new coach 4.5 years ago, but I still share that because that's what connects with people who are currently where I was 4.5 years ago.
Okay. I'm going to try that because I'm so feeling that right now. I'm home today because I didn't want to go in.
Yeah, and I share stuff like that, you know, that feeling where you don't want to go to work. I have that, but I'm working right now to get out of my job. Like, you could share something like that. Like, I'm working to create a future for myself that is something that I can enjoy every day. You know, I know there are other people on my team or other coaches that I know of that have done this, and I'm learning from them. And how cool to be able to have someone mentor me, you know, because honestly, like, think about it. A lot of these mentorship things that they have, like even Shailene Johnson's, whatever she does, those things cost money. Like, we're talking like thousands of dollars. And going to school to get a degree costs money. I know. Like, I had a lot of debt. But I earn, like, it's pretty crazy when you think about it. I don't know how to say this without sounding like I have an ego, because I don't. But, like, I earn over, let's see, how can I pay double in taxes, over double in taxes, what I used to earn in the financial industry. I pay double in taxes than what I used to earn. So that gives you an idea of how, like, my income. And I get to take all of this knowledge that I have, this experience that I have over the past 4.5 years, and actually help people. Is it going to be easy? No. But I get to help and teach them how to create that. And I'm not charging. I know you guys pay $20 to be in the group, but it goes back to you. I'm not charging for this group. You know, I'm not charging for my time. You guys aren't even on my team. You're not even personally sponsored by me, but I get to help you. That's pretty cool. Like, what company, what business is going to devote that much time and energy and effort to your personal growth and have an investment, like, invest in you to help you reach your goals? You know, like, that's cool. So talk about that kind of stuff. Like, anything that you get on like this, like, it takes some time. It took me a long time, and I still struggle with, like, social media and what to post. But thinking of, like, how does this relate? How was my life before? What was my past, present, and future? What's the story that I'm telling? And as a brand new coach, my past, or I was in this job that I didn't want to be. I didn't want to have to continue living like this. I didn't want to have to keep interviewing for places and thinking, no, I'm just going to be stuck again with a boss telling me I have 15 days of vacation. Present, I was working on getting out of my job, and future, I was telling everyone I was going to get out of my job. You know, most of my posts, if you go back to when I started in 2011, had no likes on them at all on Facebook for the first year. I was lucky if I got like 5 likes. A really big day was 15, and a lot of them were 0 to 2 likes. But the day that I fired my boss, and I said the first year nobody was liking my stuff, the day that I fired my boss, a year and a half in, that post had like 200 likes. I was like, where do these people come from? I've been telling this story for a year and a half, and I didn't think anybody was watching, but they were. They all thought I was crazy, but then when I did it, they all were like, all right, what are you doing? Tell me more. And so it's that consistency and finding that system that works for you. Use that business activity tracker if you're not. It really keeps you on track. Brand new coach. So back to those lists I was talking about. I didn't create a list. I make my coaches create a list. They have to start with a list of 200. They have to create that list. We do that their first week as coaches. And they are then told to invite 30 a day in their first week. I used to do 2 to 5 a day because I wanted to lower the expectations and not scare them away. And what I was doing was that 2 to 5 a day was not giving them results fast enough, so they would all stop because their belief in the business would just go out the window. So as soon as I started making them create a list of 200 and inviting 30, they started having people come back who are interested. So that gave them that next win, that next like, oh, this does work. And they're following their business activity tracker, so they're doing all the other activities. I had a brand new coach in August. She signed up on August 4th or 5th. And she did her list. She invited her 30 a day. By the 31st of August, we had a Zoom. Her and I were on a Zoom, and she had 0 Success Club points, 0 income, was doing everything, and she goes, Kristi, I think I have 3 people that all said yes, and they're all ordering today. My goal is Success Club 6 by today. I was like, okay. She got Success Club 6 on that last day of the month. And I said, what changed? Because you were doing all this inviting. She was using different scripts and trying to find one that sounded like her. She was changing things. She was in a mastermind Zoom with other new coaches, so they were all sharing what was working for them. And she posted her 21-day fixed results. So all of those people that said no and weren't responding to her saw her results and all contacted her. Not all, but 3, and said yes. By the 2nd of September, she had Success Club 8.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And the success of my coaches now, from making them create that list, I told you that I didn't do, really propels them forward because they start seeing success faster. So that's something, if you haven't done that, create a list. Write out a list. Go into the Coach Online office. There's a what's that thing called that reminds you of people? I know.
Memory jogger.
Memory jogger, thank you. Yeah, go in there, get that memory jogger, start writing out people. Another way to build your network, I need to wrap this up, but another way to build your network, go to your family's pages. My husband's page, my brother's page, my sister-in-law's page, my mom's page. Friend request mutual friends on their page. They're going to know you. My brother's friends know that he has a sister, some crazy sister out there that does stuff online. Like, they know that. So just go friend request them. That's what my coaches do. They go to their friends and family's pages and friend request mutual friends and send them a message. Yearbooks. Take out your old yearbooks. I know I'm like, I don't even want to know. You guys don't even want to know when I graduated. I'm starting to feel old here. But I took out my old yearbooks, my freshman yearbook, and then looked sophomore, junior, senior year and added those people as friends. Then I took my senior yearbook and went to the 3 classes younger and added those people as friends. Some of those people have become coaches or referred other people to me, and I didn't even know them in high school. It was just like we went to a small high school, and so it was like an acquaintance thing. But yeah, so that's another way that you can add to your network on.
Do you say something to them once you add them?
Some yes, some no. Just depends on the relationship I have with them. Should you say something to all of them? Probably, but that doesn't mean that I do everything that I should. Because I'll tell you a little bit of kind of my theory when I was a new coach was I want to grow my network as fast as possible because I want those people to watch my story. I want them to see what I'm doing because it takes people, okay, Eric Worre said this and it's going to sound really, really bad, but when you see, he said it from a guy's standpoint, but so I'm going to say it from the guy's standpoint. So when a guy sees a girl, he doesn't just walk up to her and say, hey, let's go have sex. She would slap him in the face and be like, oh, hell no. You have to build that relationship. You have to build that relationship. And then after the 7th or 8th date, hey, let's go have sex. You know, and you don't even have to say it. That's kind of like introducing the coach opportunity or introducing our challenge groups or letting people know that you can help them through fitness or through this business. They're not going to say yes the first time. So my whole thing was if I could build my network fast enough and plant those seeds early, then those people would follow my story and come back to me. And they have. You know, some of my one of my top coaches on the team, she's a 2-star. She just opened her 2nd business center, so she's working towards 3-star. She started a year and a half ago. We went to school together, to high school, and she did one of my 3-day Shakeology cleanses back before we had the refresh. She hated Shakeology. She didn't ever tell me that. She never ordered anything. She was like the person that ruined my average, because anytime I did 3-day cleanses, I could get people to order Shakeology, and she like totally blew my average out of the water, like ruined it. And then 2 years later, she came to me because of one of my posts. She was in a really bad spot, suffering with depression and anxiety, and because of her job, and just think like it was just very having panic attacks and things because of work, and it was something she went to school for and loved, but it was just burning her out. And she contacted me and was like, I will do whatever it takes. Like, I need this because I love health and fitness, and I need to find a way to earn an income doing something I love that doesn't cause burnout. And she makes over $1,000, I think, a week. But it was because I planted that seed early on and then continued to tell my story. So, sorry guys, I know that was long. I hope you guys got lots of tips or helpful things. It's recorded, so you can go back and pause, re-listen to parts if you need to. I know I covered a lot of information. But Diamond is yours. And the one thing I want to add is I have had coaches do this group the first time and get to Diamond. I have had coaches, 2 now, do it 3 times, do the group 3 times and get to Diamond. So if you don't get Diamond on your first time, that doesn't mean that you are a failure. You will pick up new things each time you do the group because you're in a different spot. You've learned more, you've implemented more, and so you're going to take things differently in a different light. You're going to be, in a sense, a different person in the next 6 weeks, so you're going to take different things away. You can and will grow into Diamond and to being a leader and to having that belief and confidence that you know what you're talking about. I can get on this Zoom with nothing prepared or hang out with nothing prepared and be A-okay. But if you would have told me my first year in the business, hey, you're going to do a training for somebody, I'm like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. It comes with time and it comes with experience and just growing into your goals. So just focus on those goals, whatever they may be. Focus on your why and keep going, because you will get there. It's usually not in the time frame we want, but 15 stars probably like 4 years too late, but I'll get there. I didn't change the goal, just the time frame to get there. So thank you guys for coming and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.